Just look at the board, everyone. I noticed some of us might have, okay, let me ask this question. Who among us find it difficult using that method for quadratic sequence? That method that you have to do n squared, get the coefficient of squared, then put it back to do linear. Who find that difficult or long to use? It's long. But do you have any other way to do it? What? Not that you don't. Any other one? Response? What? Is it a guessing method? You have to guess what the next thing will be. There's a procedure for it. Any other response quickly? Okay. So basically, this is my observation about that method. It's just long, but it's not ambiguous. When I say ambiguous, it's not going to maybe work for Giselle and doesn't work for Trudy. It works for all quadratic sequences. Do you agree with me? It's just that the procedure is long. Now, if we are doing cubic, it means the procedure will be one step longer. Do you understand that? So there's an alternative method. Of course, all these methods are tested and they work. But it's an alternative method. And like every other thing, let me say in life, there is always a positive and a negative side. One thing I would not tolerate is this. I give you a sequence like 0, 3, 8, 15, and somebody does this. This is 3, right? This is what? 5, 7, 2, right? 2. And you know half of this is 1. So you know there is what? N squared. Then you look at it, and quickly say minus 1. I want you to convince me how you got this minus 1. If you say, oh, well, I know it's right because when you put n squared minus 1, that is the answer you will get. You thought about it in your head. So far, I don't see any technology that can connect my brain to yours. That can, where you can convince me to say you actually thought about it. Do you understand? So that is the reason you have to show those steps. Okay? So now, there's an alternative way. This alternative way has its own negative side as well. You have to remember the formula, like the equation surrounding it. Instead of just coming to the class and telling you those formula, we are going to bring them out together. So if you prefer this alternative method, somewhere beside your question paper, you can quickly generate those so-called formula. Then you use it in the question. Do you get my point? So now this is how it works. So I'm going to start with linear, so you know it works for linear. It works for linear, quadratic, which is power 2, cubic, which is power 3. If there is a sequence of 4th power n term, 5th power n term, 7th power n term, this will work for it. And it's not going to be so long. The problem is, for this one, you need to remember 2 equations, like the formula, 2 formulas to use. For this one, you will need 3 formulas to use. For 3rd power, you will need 4 formulas to use. So the problem will be, not everybody has photographic memory. Even the quadratic formula, not everybody remembers everything, right? So that's the problem. But if we all focus on how to generate these so-called formulas, okay, then it's easier. Because even if you forget, you can quickly work it out within 30 seconds yourself and say, oh, these are the formulas I'm going to use. Do you understand? Now let's look at this. This is how it works. This is our n term, right? We are going to try to, remember I told you that this is the common difference, right? Do you agree? I told you to use, when you do this, for example, that's the common difference. Let's look at this one. What is the difference here? Negative 8. And this one? And this also? Then the next thing I tell you is, it begins with negative 8n, right? Have you ever wondered why I take this as that A?
Yeah, because all the numbers are the same number, so
You're not getting my point. Our formula will be an plus b, right?
yeah. the number is
This common, we say this negative A, then we start looking for B. Who can tell me why A is this? Is it because it just works for us? Or there's a particular reason why that common difference is taken to be A? Do you understand my question? Do you get my point?
because it needs to be multiplied by n to work in the sequence.
To work.
Yeah.
No, so that means your reason is because it makes it work.
Like in the sequence, because you need to multiply whatever is the common difference or like.
You are no. You are telling me how to get B now. You multiply this by n, then we figure out what B is. I'm telling you, what makes you think this A is 8, I know. What is the reason we always say this is our A?
It's the second term minus the first term, so it's A.
Is the second term minus first term? Yes, the second term. So why do we say second term minus first term is 8?
Because it's just 8 times the times table of 8 plus something, so they're different. Also be 8. But you need to multiply it by the input or whatever.
You guys are saying the same thing. You're still
Yeah.
not telling. Okay, I'll give you another one. Quadratic sequence. Pick one of the quadratic sequence you did last time. I'll pick this. So look at this. 1, 0, minus 3, minus 8. Remember this question? Minus 15. What's the difference here?
Minus
1, minus 1. Difference here?
Minus 3.
Difference here?
Minus 4.
And this one?
Minus 7.
Quickly everyone. And this?
Minus plus minus 2. Minus 2.
This?
Minus 2.
This?
Minus 2.
We always say this is 2a, right? Right? No. 2a is this. A will be half of this. Right? A is half of negative 2. Is that not what we always do? So then this will be negative 1. The question is, why is A this one? That's the question I'm asking.
Wait, why do you have it?
Why do you even have it? Thank you. Do you get my fundamental questions now? Why do we have it? In cubic, I will tell you that this last difference, you do 1 over 6 to get A. Why 1 over 6?
Because it's a cubic sequence. Because power of 3.
Power of 3 should have given you 8, isn't it? Power of 3 of what? 1 cube is 1, 2 cube is 8, 3 cube is 27. None of them is 6, so why 6? Oh, because you like 6? What if I like 4 and I want to use 4?
Because
Yes?
because 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 times 1 over 2.
That's 1 over 8 last time I checked. Well, it might have been changed after I checked. So, are you getting my question now?
Yeah, I understand.
This is easy to say that, oh, because you have to do multiple of 8. So how about this one now? So that is my question.
Because you go through 2 steps.
Oh, that's why it's 6?
No, but that one's 2. So that one's divided by 1 over 2.
And this is divided by 1 over 3.
I thought, wait.
Does everybody get the question we are asking now?
Yeah.
That is the question we are trying to get answer to here. Yes.
For cubic, is it 1 over 6?
Yes.
So, okay.
So it's not like there's a consistent pattern. If linear was maybe 1 over 1, maybe quadratic is 1 over 2, and maybe cubic is 1 over 3, then we could have said, oh, maybe the power, right?
Yeah.
But now it's different, which is something I plan for you guys in Math Club to investigate in a few weeks' time anyway. Why 1 over 6? We will show you that the answer is indeed 1 over 6. But why 1 over 6? And if I have power 4, 1 over what? If I have power 5, 1 over what? That's one thing we will sort of talk about.
Is power 4 1 over 24?
I don't know yet.
Can you give one more hint?
You can try it and see. I don't know yet. I wouldn't say yes or no to that because I want them to investigate it in the Math Club in a few weeks' time. And with that, I want them to predict any power, maybe X power. All right, now listen. Listen. If this is indeed my n term, okay, how can I generate the first term, second term, third term?
Multiply it by n.
Put that to the proper form. Multiply what by n?
Multiply a by n.
And so,
And you add b.
just say I substitute n as what?
You have to n as the term.
Which term?
The nth term.
No, come on.
Oh, the position.
The position. So what are these positions?
The sequence. 1.
What are these positions? Just
1, 2,
answer the question I'm
3,
asking.
4, 5.
Thank you. Is everybody following?
Yeah.
This is n term. Do you know what n term means? N term enables you to get the first term, second term, and any other term, right? If I want to get the first, if my n term is 2n plus 7, Alex, how do I get my first term? She said the same thing, so I just do times 1. You need to learn to answer questions. Okay? N times 1. Okay, so n times 1 is n. Is that my first term? Exactly, that's what I want to hear, not times 1. Okay? So again, everyone, I want to get my first term. What is first term?
2n plus 2. Oh, you substitute n with 1.
Substitute n as 1. For second term,
Substitute n with 2.
substitute n as 2. For third term,
Substitute n with 3.
that's how you generate your terms, right? Let's see what happens if we generate our terms here. This is our n term, right? We don't care what A or B is. Let's just generate the term. So what is my first term?
A times 1.
So this is a sequence. Just tell me what the first term is. Don't save me all the times and divide. What is our first term here?
A plus b.
Thank you. What is the second term?
2a plus b.
What is the third term?
3a plus b.
Kelly, no warning today for anyone who is not paying attention, because this is really important for linear, quadratic, and cubic. So if you're not paying attention, you won't like what I will do. These are the sequences, right? What is the difference between them?
Minus 1a.
What's the difference here?
Oh, that's what it is.
That's why it's A. Because this is a general sequence now. So this is why we always take that common difference as A. Does it make sense so far? That is why when you do this, you just say, oh, immediately A is equal to negative 8. And you begin with minus 8 plus n. Because the sequence is an plus b. And you do this. That is why we always start with that. Because of this. Does it make sense? The only thing left is what? If you want to get your n term, what is the only thing left after you figure out your A?
B.
B. All you have to do is come here. Your first term is always A plus B. So in this case, my A plus B is 28. If A is negative 8, negative 8 plus B is 28. Then my B is 28 plus 8, which is what? 36. So my n term is actually what? Negative 8n plus 36. So the two equations you need to remember is that the difference is A and the first term is A plus B. The first term of your sequence is A plus B. So here you need these two equations, or which I'm calling the formulas, because they are like relationship between these terms. A is the difference. Okay? A plus B is the first term. This is what you remember. So you need two formulas for this. So if you don't remember what they are, generate this yourself, find a difference, it's easy to figure out. But linear will not be a problem, right? Because the same A plus B will be the same A plus B plus C in quadratic. We'll see very soon. Are you following what I'm saying? Let's look at quadratic and try to establish the same thing. So after this, unless I state it clearly, you are free to use either this equation approach or the other approach. Alright, everybody, attention now. Now, what is our general n term for quadratic sequence? Did you see how I use this thing? If remember, A is this difference, so this is my A. And a plus b is this one. So I only need this part of the whole thing. Alright? So what is the general n term?
A squared plus b.
I'm talking to everybody now.
A squared plus b plus c.
Okay? So let's generate about 4 at least. Or 5. So what is the first term?
A squared.
A squared.
A
plus A plus B.
A plus b
plus c.
plus c. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anika, do you understand what they're saying? So Anika now, not everybody. Anika, tell me the second term. If indeed you are sure how they got it, then you should get second term. But something tells me you don't, and you just say yes. Now, do you understand how they got this? How did they get this one? Tell me. I have 20 more minutes, please. I don't want to do this next week, please. How did they get A plus B plus C as the first term? That's my question. Is the sequence? Melody, how did they get the A plus B plus C?
From the n.
From the n term. So what did they do to n terms, Sonia, to get A plus B plus C?
So n equals
N equals 1. Do you understand that now? So please, if you don't understand something you say, don't just be quiet. I could read you that you don't understand what you're saying. But yet you told me yes. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help me either. Alright? So now that you know n is 1, tell me for second term, what will it be?
2a.
Look at it again.
4a
Good. 4a.
plus 2b
Good.
plus c.
Let's see. Easy. Alright? Trudy, tell me the third term. 9a.
Plus 3b.
Uh-huh. C. Isaac, tell me the fourth term.
6A.
6a. You're not Isaac. Please stand on your feet. Stand right there. Isaac, now. And please, today, I told you guys, if you keep misbehaving, I'm going to separate you in the class. So from today, you do not sit together anymore. Yes, Isaac?
It's not 6A.
6a? How do you get 6a? What?
I took 5 to 6.
Where did you get the 5 now?
Isn't that 5?
Which one? There's no 5 on the board.
Third one.
This one?
Yeah. Isn't that 5?
That's What is this, everyone?
9.
You don't have to see the board. Everybody should be listening when somebody was saying it. And I can't remember that person. Who was that? Saying 5. Trudy never said 5. So that means we're not listening.
So it's 11.
Oh my goodness. So you're not been paying attention to all this. Can you tell me how they got A plus B plus C? Because I asked Anika the same thing.
N is 1.
N is 1. So for this one,
N is 2.
and for this,
N is 3.
for the one I'm asking you,
N is 4.
so when you put N is 4, you get 6A?
No. 16.
Please be focused in class.
Alright.
Yes?
4B plus C.
This is why you shouldn't sit together. You are not going to help yourselves. I can't believe you can tell me 5A. Then the next thing is 11. Alright? So with this now, let's see. what is the difference? And see if the difference will be the same. Yes? 3a
plus b
plus b. Okay, so I write it properly. 3a plus b. What is the difference here?
5a plus b.
What's the difference here?
7a.
So there's a linear, this is telling you this is a linear sequence already, because you have plus something, right? Okay? But it's not the same difference. And in quadratic, we always do how many differences? 2. So let's do the second difference now.
2a.
Uh-huh.
2a.
Can you see why we have to get a?
Yes.
Because this difference is 2a. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Again, if you can get a from here, you put it here to get your b, you put it here to get your c. So again, you are considering the edges of this whole triangular pattern. This side. Does it make sense? So you are working with 2a is your second difference. Okay, 2a is the second difference. 3a plus b is the first term of first difference. Can you see that? Yeah, because your first difference has different, is a sequence on its own, right? The first term of them is your 3a plus b. Okay? Then a plus b plus c is just the first term of the sequence itself. So I just say original sequence. So this is what you need to use. So I don't want to start memorizing this as a student. What do you think I can do in exam?
Just write it out.
Just write this out. And you know your focus is the one at the edge here. Can you see that? So let's solve one of the problems from your paper. Pick one question from 1 to 6.
-3.
Pick one question. Which question is that?
2.
2. All right, question 2. Before I proceed, Isaac, please take your table and come and sit here. So I'm gonna have you and Elsie sandwich the girls. Okay, so I write that question on the board because of our time, and I want someone to apply this and help us do it. Question 2. So we take that as the example. So what's question 2? -3, 0, 5, 12, 21, 32. Okay, so we have this. Can somebody come and apply this technique and find the end term for us? Anyone? Or can I ask you to do it at the back of your notes? Try that. 2 minutes, everybody. Use this technique. Try it out. Go back to the seat. But don't sit beside him. Sit over there. People like you that can't afford to focus and keep their mouth shut and do all that should be sitting alone in the class henceforth. Or is it that you distract someone or you distract yourself? I won't let that happen anymore. Let's try this question, sir. Try it at the back of your note because I need this written in your note later. So please just work it at the back of your note to see.
I don't get how it doesn't come when you ask
The difference from the method we're using before. No, but we don't find the difference between the first 2 terms, find another, whatever. We don't go through all those steps anymore. All you have to do is solve the equation.
I still don't really understand how to use them.
Look at what I did here. After I did this, I came to this formula. A is the difference. A is the difference. A plus B is the first term. A plus B is the first term. That's how to apply. You pick this equation, you use that to figure out A and B, and you put it back to get your n term. Oh no. Why wouldn't you know if the question is quadratic or not? Guys, Alex is raising a point. Sometimes you don't know if the question is quadratic or not. How would you respond to that?
Square.
If the difference is not the same at first, then it's not linear. And how do you know it is quadratic?
It's the second difference.
The second difference gives the same number. We talked about that before.
So you still need to solve for A the old way?
No.
Right?
Just use this equation, write this out one by one, and solve the equation. Forget about the old way now. The old way just tells you to get half of A. There's a reason for that. That is what we have tried to establish now. So who has done it? You pick the equation one by one. Show me the first equation. Okay, second equation. Are you copying or applying the example, Alex? All right, great. Why did you jump from the first equation to the third equation? There's a reason I wrote equation 1, 2, 3. Elsie. Show me your first equation. Okay, second equation. Third equation. Wait, that's it. Yes. First equation, second equation. Look at your B again. Got this right. Did you put it already? What is your A plus B plus C? A plus B plus C is what? First term of the original sequence. Where is the equation? Okay, I'm going to do this. But sincerely, I think the few of you who couldn't apply this, I didn't expect that to happen. You copied something? Or is this for today? Alright. So when were you copying that? When I was teaching? After this, I asked you to solve a question, which you just finished now. So when exactly did you do it? I don't believe that, I'm sorry.
So it's probably right with
And everybody's meant to do that when I was saying something. Please watch it. Because what happens is eventually I get delayed, which I don't like, if you don't understand it. Have you done it?
Can you check like my equation?
Yes, so yeah, that's the equation. What? Where is it? Where is it? Where is the answer? N minus 4? I didn't get N minus 4. No. Alright, look up now. If you have not been paying attention when I was doing the first one, please pay attention now. Because I can see some of you don't even know how to begin. Some people don't know how to begin. That's quite disappointing. This is advanced class. I don't expect you to wait for me to show you how to write simple equation, how to put one value. Then we have no business being here. And that is quite disappointing. You guys are smarter than that. Just that someone is probably talking to somebody about something irrelevant. Someone is doing something else. Now everybody's meant to work. Some people don't know what to do. So, first thing first, you get as much difference as possible. You don't have to get all of them. But you need maybe 4.